Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ball Talk. Today, I'm going to be talking about Liverpool's struggles this season in defending their crown, defending their title. At the making of this video, which is Sunday, the 21st of February, Liverpool lost the Merseyside derby to Everton yesterday. For the first time, they lost at Anfield to Everton since 1999, I believe. So, it just goes to show how difficult a season it's been for Liverpool in terms of retaining their title, keeping up the form that they've had over the past 3 years. So before I get started, I just want to say thank you for the support on my channel as always. You guys are the best. And please like this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Alright, so getting into Liverpool, the success of Liverpool's over the past 3 years, winning the Premier League, winning the Champions League, progressing from, a banter club to a very serious club in Europe, has been based all around this high energy, high octane, brand of football that they play, high pressing, winning the ball quickly, counter attacks, fast, fluid football, and, the thing is with Liverpool is that over the past 2-3 years, they've had pretty much the same 11. Well, not 11. 11 is a bit of an exaggeration. But the same, 13, 14 players play almost every week, twice, in a season. You probably play on a Saturday, you play on a Wednesday, and then you play again on a Sunday. 3 times a week, playing basically more or less like the same starting 11, more or less. And you see these players playing over and over and over and over again. And after a while, it's going to take its toll. It's going to catch up with them. And it's something that I've seen happening, that I've talked about it with my dad, and I've talked about it with people. I've seen this kind of crash in terms of injuries, fatigue, and form. I've seen it coming for Liverpool over the past couple of years, because you have to have a big squad. And Liverpool's squad, though it is very talented, it's not really as deep as maybe Man City's. And you can see that they're struggling and suffering with that now. Of course, you can't put too much blame on Liverpool. It's very difficult to retain the Premier League title. I mean, as over the past 10 years, the only team to retain the Premier League title was Man City when they won it in 2019 after winning it in 2018. So it's very difficult to retain the title, which just goes to show how great of a manager Sir Alex Ferguson was, because he three-peated twice. So, it's difficult, with the motivation, just going again after winning the title one time. It is difficult, for all teams. Over the past 10 years, there have been some very suspect title defenses, so Liverpool aren't on their own in that regard. But, there's a lot of attention on Liverpool considering, the high pedestal that they were being put on. That they were being compared to some of the greatest teams in Premier League history, the Invincibles, the United treble, the United 2008 team, the Chelsea 2005 team. They were being put on this same pedestal, and you have to perform. So there's a lot of attention towards Liverpool's shortcomings this season. Now, if you look at Liverpool's style of play, it's not like for someone who really enjoys good passing, technical football, like tiki-taka, total football. I don't enjoy Liverpool's style of play. It is successful and you give them their credit. It is winning football. But as for my personal, football enjoyment, and from my opinion, it wasn't the greatest football to watch. You know what I'm saying? And it was very one-dimensional in the way that there was basically 3 types of attack. One, they would counter attack, and I mean Mane, Salah, and Firmino coming at you enough said. And then the second way of attacking would be Van Dijk, playing a long ball to Mane, and then Mane, Mane the fighter that he is, the warrior that he is, fighting for every loose ball. And then passing it, linking up with Firmino, who links up the play between Mane and Salah. And then who knows, maybe Salah or Mane scores, something like that. And then the final and probably their most important way of attacking is when they pressure you with their fullbacks. They pressure you with Trent, pressure you with with Andy Robertson, and you see that their fullbacks is their main source of creativity. Their midfielders are not creative midfielders. Henderson, Wijnaldum, Fabinho. These are not creative midfielders. Their creativity comes through the fullbacks, and then the central midfielders just keep it compact and maybe join in an attack every once in a while. That was Liverpool's thing, and it was working for them. Now teams started to figure out how to beat Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad have said this. I said this for a long time, that one way to beat Liverpool is to pressure the fullbacks and make sure that their fullbacks aren't bombing up and down, the field. Because if you make their fullbacks stay back, all of a sudden their biggest source of creativity is gone. And how can they attack now? And then the second way of beating Liverpool is taking advantage of their lack of creativity in the middle of the pitch by just sitting back, putting 10 behind the ball and saying, come on, beat us with your passing play. Come on, beat us, you know what I'm saying? And that, a couple of ways, like Atletico in particular, in the Champions League last year, beat Liverpool with that sort of play, sitting back saying, hey, come on, break us down. And then when they didn't, they counter-attacked in extra time and scored 3 goals, and teams started to figure that out, and teams have been figuring it out. Now, another aspect of Liverpool struggles this season is the injuries, and that again comes down to playing the same players over and over and over again, especially, in a place like this, in a time like this, with coronavirus. The season started in September instead of August. So, like, games are more frequent. So you're more likely to get injuries. More likely. Now, of course, injuries will happen either way, no matter what type of season you're in. But when you're playing the same players over and over again with not that much rest, like the only time Liverpool rest their players is in cup competitions. And because of that, they go out very early. So then all their opportunities to rest players go out really quickly. So they keep playing the same players over and over again, and they get injuries. Right now Liverpool have no fit centre backs. Well, no fit competent centre backs anyway. And even their makeshift ones, Henderson got injured yesterday. We don't know how long he's going to be out for. And Fabinho's been out for a while as well. So, Liverpool are struggling, and I actually feel bad for them, because it must be difficult not having any competent centre-backs in your team. So that has, Liverpool's defense used to be really decent, but now it's all over the place. They can really be gutter. So that's another key aspect to Liverpool's downfall this season. Now, enough of the eye test. We're going to bring in some stats as well. And we're gonna use expected goals. Now, expected goals philosophy on Twitter is a very interesting thing that I've been looking at, over the past couple of years. They just calculate, like, on chances, like how many goals you're supposed to score with a chance and stuff like that. So last season, Liverpool scored 85 goals, like 85 actual goals, and they conceded 33. Now, with expected goals, they should have only scored 74.48 goals, and they should have conceded 41.53 goals. Now, they outperformed their attacking expected goals by over 10, actually, by 10.52. They overperformed it by 10.52, and then they overperformed their defensive expected goals by 8.53. And you can see that something that I've seen with expected goals is that it always just it rounds up in the end. Like, it all just comes together in the end, even though it looks like the team is outperforming it. Like, it balances out in the end. Especially, it's shown this season with a team like Tottenham, who are quite frequently outperforming their expected goals attacking wise earlier in the season. But then it all just came crashing down to, what you expect it to be. And I think that's what's happening for Liverpool this season. A lot of players last year scored more goals than their expected goals. The team as well just overperformed in general. Like, it all came together perfectly for Liverpool last year. Not only were they by far the best team in the league, but in my opinion, the quality of football last season was really, really poor. So it all just came together. And now in a season where teams are coming back, United are performing well, West Ham, Leicester, City are, flying away at the top of the league. And you can see that Liverpool have been quite cruelly found out this season. And it's something that I did predict that could happen to them. I talked about it in my preview for Man City and Liverpool earlier in the season. And it's something that I felt could happen. And unfortunately for Liverpool, it is happening to them, Liverpool still have a potential, like really, really good, like a generation of talent here, And, they could be a potential dynasty. They could save it, But what they have to do this summer is deepen that squad. Deepen it. Get it deep like Man City's. And who knows, Liverpool could be back next year, challenging for titles, challenging for the Champions League once again. You never know. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is just my opinion. Liverpool are still a very good team. Some of their struggles are self-inflicted, but they've also been very unlucky this season. So we all hope as football fans, genuine football fans, that we don't wish injuries on any team, on any player. And you just hope that the Liverpool players can come back and they can compete at a high level again, for the love of football. All right. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.
Thank you.